Good morning, NFC East, and happy Thursday to everybody. Hope you guys are having a safe travel on the roads out there. If you have to go out, I saw it was snowing when I first looked out the window, so I guess I'll be doing some shoveling today. By the way, my name is Jeff Kerr. That's my man, Tone DeShields. And Tone, unlike Jalen Hurts, I will not be asking you about the Chicago Bears defense.
Oh, man, that was a good one. This kind of happened earlier this season with the Arizona Cardinals game, where he felt like he wasn't getting asked enough questions about the opposing team. And in that game, he maybe had a case, maybe, but this game, it's funny how people, and this isn't even really about Jalen. It's about how people respond to a situation like that, right? The media, they have a responsibility. You guys have a responsibility, right, to chronicle the various storylines and narratives, not only through an NFL season, but also through the careers of hundreds of players. And some people are good at their jobs. Some people not so much. And some people have better relationships. Some people don't. And people ask the questions they want answers to because they're trying to chronicle something that maybe they feel hasn't been touched on enough. Look, this Philadelphia Eagles team has been very good all season. This Philadelphia Eagles team has been consistent all season. So, like John McMullen says sometimes, when they're this good all the time, it gets a little boring. And when you know the opponent is who the opponent is, this is no disrespect to the Bears. It's like, come on, really, what are we talking about here? We know you guys are going to go in there and take care of business. It's not the media's job to prepare for the Bears.
I believe
the
in the worst
have to prepare for the Bears, not the media. So, I don't really get too caught up in that. I mean, it's good. It's good sports talk. It's fun, but I don't really get too caught up in the whole with the media didn't ask, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the whole media engagement with the fans on Twitter has always been weird to me. Like, oh, the media's not doing their jobs. I'm like, no, they are doing their jobs. It's just not look. It's not our job to ask Jalen Hurts about the Bears defense. Now, and again, I don't think people realize this. You really only can get one question in there. Not everybody's as gifted as John and gets two. So
yeah,
I always think
you got to watch him.
Oh, he is a slickster. By the way, he is right, Tone. That's what I wanted to point out earlier. He's right. They're a boring good team, which most good teams are boring. Like, in Kansas City.
Can't even say that because there are some good teams who talk a lot. Like the Cowboys, they talk a lot. And they always keep you on your toes.
Well, that's because Jerry Jones likes to control the narrative too.
Yeah, the Eagles, they bring the lunch pail to work and they go home and take care of business. That's about it. Like Jordan Mailata said, hey, we got the Bears. Micah, I don't know who you guys got coming up, but maybe you should focus on that. I think that was my biggest problem with the whole Micah Parsons situation. Like, you're jumping ahead. Focus on the plate in front of you. And Jalen Hurts had a very interesting response to that.
And he said that, like, if Micah Parsons would have said this next week, you've been like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. You're playing the Eagles on Saturday. Yeah,
that's my biggest problem.
But you're looking ahead, just like they looked ahead to the Texans. And that's what, you're right. That's what bothers me about the whole thing. And again, like, I don't want to get on Jalen Hurts too much. I love Jalen Hurts. I love the way, I love his demeanor toward everything. But you know the answer he's going to give you with the Bears defense. It's the same answer he always gives you. I mean, you can't sit here and tell me you actually think the Bears defense is good. You can respect them, but you can't sit here and tell me that, oh, this, and this. Like, because that's where I just roll my eyes. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I get any team can beat any team on any given Sunday. I completely understand that. But I will say this. If the Eagles, and again, this is where I can't wait to hear Clay Harbor at 720 because he does focus a lot on the Bears now. If the Eagles lose to the Bears, man, they got some problems because the Bears should not beat this team.
Exactly. So, like you said, they shouldn't beat this team at this point in the season. The Philadelphia Eagles have positioned themselves to be one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best team in the NFL. And if they lose to the Bears, like you said, we're going to be looking at this team like, what the hell happened? So, really, are you guys as fans? Let's put the onus on the fans, right? Are you even remotely concerned about the damn Bears defense? Let's be totally honest. Tom Thayer was on the National Football Show yesterday with Dan Sileo.
He used to play for the Bears.
Exactly. The 85 Bears, as a matter of fact. A legend.
Yeah.
And Dan Sileo asked him, why are the Bears 3 whatever their record is, 3-11 or 2, whatever the record is? Why,
they're 3-10. You don't even know their record, Tone.
Basically, he asked, why are they this bad? And he said one word: defense. The defense is terrible. Terrible. If he knows that, you don't think Jalen Hurts knows that? And but look, that doesn't mean Jalen Hurts is going to approach the game or preparation any differently. That's not what I'm implying. What I'm saying is, the media, they recognize that as well. And it's up to the media to remain engaged and create, various narratives and, again, chronicle what they're seeing, what they're hearing. And Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that's he's not really going to give you too much, or he's not really going to deviate from his mantra, his script, right? Jalen Hurts is very calculated. He shouldn't. He's very calculated. He's very intentional. So when you know what the answer someone's going to give you, you got to ask him something else that you probably want to know more about to get him talking more.
Yeah, like on Sunday, for example, I forget who asked him, but he said, he carries I forget the exact wording he said.
He carries his scars everywhere he goes.
He carries his scars everywhere he goes. Thank you. And that's an answer you like to hear from a guy who, I guarantee you 100% when Jalen Hurts heard those comments, he circled December 24th. Something, he put it in the back of his mind and just said, okay, that's fine. I'll pull that out of the back of my mind when I got to. But right now I'm focused on the Chicago Bears and beating the Chicago Bears this week. And again, it's not like we're interviewing Brandon Graham or Fletcher Cox or anything, because the Bears have a really good run offense. I think they have the number one run offense in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, you're going to ask Brandon Graham a lot of questions about Justin Fields. How are you going to stop him? How are you going to stop Khalil Herbert if he would play? Or, David Montgomery, or, whoever's running the ball for the Bears.
Because that's the most exciting part of their team.
Exactly. They're a really good running team. And they do have a good friend. And, I'd ask Justin Fields what he thought about Jalen Hurts. Or Jalen Hurts what he thought about Justin Fields. It's the same thing, right? If I had to interview Justin Fields this week, it'd be the same thing. Like, hey, man, what do you take out Jalen Hurts' game? Because right now you're considered a running quarterback. You're not a passing quarterback. Do you look at Jalen Hurts and say, hey, look, I can be that guy someday down the line? It's, and believe it or not, even Jalen Hurts likes when you ask those questions. Like, I'm not signifying Jalen Hurts in general, but of all the athletes I've interviewed, they actually kind of like when you go a little deeper, just asking, kind of relating their situation to something else, because they will give you an answer, and they'll give you a pretty good one.
Yeah. What I love the most about Jalen Hurts, and I'll, close this topic with this. He never makes anything about himself. So even though I do believe he is paying attention, I believe he hears everything, and I believe he's looking forward to that Dallas Cowboys matchup on Christmas Eve. I know for a fact he's looking forward to it. But don't expect, I don't know what other teams expect or other fans or opposing fan bases expect from him, but he's not going to go into that game pressing. Best believe that's not what he's going to do. He hasn't pressed not once this season. And like I said, he's not a quarterback that makes anything about himself. He never goes into a game, in my opinion, or for what it looks like. He never plays like he's trying to prove something. He always plays within the confines of the offense, and then he makes plays when need be. He's a very smart quarterback. He protects the ball, and he's the guy that I want to go to war with, because he understands that it takes a village. Like he always says, no man is an island. Everyone draws their ability and power from others.
Didn't you think that was more of a message to his team, though? Like,
I agree.
You can give me, yeah, it was okay. Yeah, you guys didn't ask me about the Bears defense. It's kind of like a message to, hey, guys, we got the Bears this week, so let's not go crazy over Micah Parsons, because that's the mind games he's trying to play.
Yeah, A.J. Brown even said, in his, I think, locker room interview or whatever, he even said, yeah, like, it's times I FaceTime Jalen, just see what's up. And he's still in the damn building. I'm home. He's like, yeah, he calls Jalen. Jalen's like, yeah, I'm working on some installs, I'll catch up with you. He's like, man, this dude is like, he's militant, and everyone knows it. He sets the tone.
I want to ask you this, Tone, because I'm going to give an answer too on this. What great athlete does Jalen Hurts remind you of in any sport? We'll see if we think
overall.
Overall. We'll see if we think the same way here.
That's a really good question.
Because I got mine.
Jalen Hurts kind of reminds me of Wow, that's a really good question, Jeff. You go first, and I think I might have something for you.
Kobe.
Davey Boy said it just as you said it. Shout out to Davey Boy in the live chat, man. Shout out to
It's
Davey
Kobe,
Boy.
man. He literally has the Kobe mindset. He does
That Mamba mentality, yeah.
This comes from a guy who reads like any single thing Kobe Bryant comes out. Shout out Mike Sealski, by the way.
I almost said Jordan, but I'm like, no, I don't think he's as brazen as Michael Jordan.
Michael carried a lot of
he created beef.
Yeah, he created a lot. But and the Last Dance confirmed it, but you kind of knew. Yeah. Jalen's definitely Kobe. Like when you're at home, resting on the couch, Jalen Hurts is looking at it as, okay, that's an extra hour I gained on you.
Yeah, I remember Gilbert Arenas was telling a story about how he was about to put the Lakers. And he got to the arena, for warm-ups. He always got there early, to get some shots up, free throws or whatever. And he came in. And remind you, it was a home game for the Wizards. He got there, and it's like he said it's early in the morning. He said he got there, and Kobe there just getting up crazy amount of shots. And Gilbert was like, "Yo, Kobe, how long you been here? Like what the hell?" And he was like, "I mean, I just got up 500 shots, like 1,000, like it's like what? Like so it's just, you can't take that level of preparation for granted. And I don't think it's something that should be underestimated or understated or undervalued. That level of preparation is not consistent throughout the NFL. And a lot of people say, well, this is what they're supposed to do. I'm not going to give you credit for, robbing a bank, not robbing a bank, or I'm not going to give you credit for doing your job, right? Yeah, I'm not going to give you credit for doing your job. Yes, you're supposed to show up. Yes, you're supposed to go through your warm-ups. Yes, you're supposed to take care of your body. But there's some guys who take it to another level, guys that go above and beyond as far as preparation, So I got to give credit where credit is due, especially when there's guys, just getting straight A's all across the board, man.
Yeah, I always tell people in life, if you want to be good at something, you make sure you're better than the guy next to you. Kobe Bryant always did that in basketball. Jalen Hurts is doing that in football. That's why you don't have bad weeks, because he is having this preparation. It's anything, Tone. It's in this business. Like, what can you do to separate yourself from the guy next to you?
That's a very good point.
Good point. I mean, if anyone wants a nickel's worth of free advice, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through life doing the bare minimum, or you can go above your means, go above what's expected.
And that's okay if you want to go the bare minimum. I'm not saying.
I mean, if it pays the bills, sheesh.
Exactly. It's, some people are okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's your life. It's what you want to do with it. But I always say if you want to go to the next level, that's stuff you got to do.
Everyone's different. So, we have our guy Clay Harbor coming up. We still have a few minutes left in this segment. Dallas Goedert is going to be back this week. It's going to be really exciting to see him. He's been gone for the past few weeks. What are your thoughts on, his return, how they're going to get him back into the flow of the offense, and just how dangerous he makes this offense going forward, especially going into the playoffs?
Well, obviously having Dallas Goedert back is huge, but shout out to Jack Stoll and Grant Calcaterra, who
definitely I love those guys. By the way, Xander always gives me hell for my Jack Stoll bromance. I love Jack Stoll and Grant Calcaterra.
You know what? I gotta give those two a lot of credit, because I didn't know they could hold the fort for 4 weeks, and the first week they did not. But that was also their first significant week of playing time. And again, I didn't want to jump down their throat so quick, like, hey, they need to sign tight end. No, I'm like, let's give these guys another week or two and see what they got. And they clearly brought it. I mean, Jack Stoll, he's more than just a blocking tight end for them. I mean, is he Dallas Goedert? No. Is he ever going to be Dallas Goedert? No. But Grant Calcaterra has a future on this football team, at the very least, as a number 2 tight end. I mean, look, our guy Clay Harbor made a pretty good career as a number 2 tight end. There's no reason Grant Calcaterra can't do it.
Yes, it's so funny. When Jack Stoll was drafted, he was looked at as being a prototypical blocking tight end. And when Grant Calcaterra was drafted, they knew he was more vertical, more of a possession guy, right? More athletic, not really a blocker. What was so
probably
fascinating?
Should have been drafted higher if it wasn't.
Should have been drafted higher if he never would have took that time off. He was considered to be a top 100 player when he was at Oklahoma. But what was so fascinating about those two guys is that you see their improvement week by week, especially in that Giants game with for Grant Calcaterra from a blocking perspective. And I know blocking is boring. No one likes to talk about blocking. The football nerds love to talk about blocking and all that kind of stuff. But I love watching the O-line play. I love watching guys block. I love watching how just the slightest bump can create. I love seeing how a block can make the difference between a 10-yard run and a 50-yard run. I love blocking. So, there was a big block that Grant Calcaterra landed on the right side of the field that allowed Miles Sanders to break for that 40-yard run. And was it the cleanest block? No, but he showed the willingness.
It doesn't matter.
He showed the ability to create that lane for Miles Sanders. And again, that could have been the difference between a 8-yard gain and a 40-yard gain. And got, the man upstairs, Grant, they would have it that it became a 40-yard touchdown run. So look, I don't take these young guys for granted. I'm so excited to see their development and their growth. And again, they're not going to be able to fill that void Dallas Goedert provides. Dallas Goedert is one of the most dominant tight ends in the NFL. He's one of the most complete. He does everything. He allows the Philadelphia Eagles to be a little bit more inconspicuous in what they're trying to do. Whereas those other guys, when you have them on the field, you kind of tip your hand on because people know what they can and can't do. So, but overall, though, the bottom line is, man, Dallas Goedert. We have a really great tight end room, and Dallas Goedert is the X factor on his offense, and I think he may be the most unguardable player on the offense.
By the way, I know you said about Grant Calcaterra's block. I'll never forget when my high school football coach David Dulles told me. And by the way, this is a guy who barely played any offense, if at all. I definitely didn't play any varsity on the offense. I was a defensive player, strictly defense. But I remember what he said when they were trying to teach me how to block and stuff. Kerr, you don't have to make a perfect block. Just get in front of him. Your running back's going to do the rest. And I always took that advice from me. And that's what Grant Calcaterra did Sunday. And, again, it's everybody goes, oh, this guy can't pass protect. This guy can't block. I'm like, they can block. It's just they may not be able to block at the NFL level. There are ways of getting by it, right? Like, you can't leave Miles Sanders on island, for example, like Shane Steichen did in Week 11. But again, I agree. Dallas Goedert coming back. This is what I think why people are really getting excited about this Eagles team, Tone. Everybody's getting healthier toward the stretch run.
Absolutely.
Vontae Mack's back. Dallas Goedert back. Who's the next piece that they need? Oh, Reed Blankenship, obviously. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Yep.
Yeah, so they're the two next.
Absolutely. And, next up, we have our guy, Clay Harbor, the Missouri State product. Man, I'm super excited to hear what he has to say, man. We were just talking about tight end play with Grant Calcaterra and, Jack Stoll coming in and doing their thing and, picking up some of the slack. Not all the slack because Dallas Goedert, that void is hard to fill, but picking up some of the slack. Grant Calcaterra taking his blocking to another level. Jack Stoll taking his ball skills to another level. So really, really curious to see what our guy Clay Harbor has to say about this tight end room and their overall impact to the flow of the offense. You guys are locked in on Good Morning NFC East. This is my guy, one of the best writers in the business, Jeff Kerr. I'm the super producer, Tone DeShields II. Keep it locked, you guys. You do not want to miss this.